大家好，我是 Luke，我是上海找到一名来自英国的博士生。然后这件是特别重要的人，因为 The Labour Party 他们赢得了那个英国的选举，对吧？然后我不告诉你，我觉得他们怎么样，但是我可以告诉你们，我觉得后来英国和中国的关系怎么样。To start off with things, I just want to point out that there was a huge poll of Labour supporters on why they voted for Labour. And it is just mind-blowing. 48% of Labour voters, they voted for Labour because they wanted to get rid of the current Conservative government. That was the reason. They didn't want to do it because of Labour. They just hated the Conservative government. They wanted to get rid of them. Only 5% of Labour voters voted for Labour because they supported the Labour policies. This shows that a lot of the British people don't truly understand what Labour are going to do. It's kind of all a big joke because Labour, they have just said whatever the Conservatives did badly, well, they would have done the opposite. Would they have? I'm not too sure. But anyway, the thing that British people care about the most at the moment is the economy, without a doubt. I genuinely don't think British people view China as an enemy. They don't really look at that anymore. They just care about how can we fix the economy. And I think Labour are going to do absolutely everything they can to do that. That has been a big part of their election campaign. And now what we have seen is that the Foreign Secretary of Labour, he has come out and he has openly criticised the Conservative government's relationship over the past 14 years with China. And this is a huge thing. So he has said that he wants cooperation with China to be key. And that is massive. That is really, really big because we have seen in the past Labour's relationship with China has been pretty good. So we can see that Tony Blair, he handed back Hong Kong to China from the UK in 1997, right? That was under the Labour government. And then Gordon Brown, he visited China in 2008 and he wanted to get good economic relations. It has only really been with the Conservatives where we have had a bad relationship, where we have followed whatever America have done. So yeah, there really is not that much money domestically, internally within Great Britain. There are not that many jobs. The economy is in a free fall. It is just really bad at the moment. People are struggling. And so when there's not that much money internally, of course, you need to go outwards. You need to find new relations. You need to find new trade deals. Who better else? China. Yeah, the Foreign Secretary of Labour, he has said that he wants to begin an audit into the UK-China relations. He wants to see what we can do to better improve the trade deals. He wants to get more people to visit China, more ministers to visit China, more ministers to talk with China, because at the moment, it's not really been too much, has it? So I'm hoping that these are not just false promises that we see in elections time and time again, where they promise stuff and then it just doesn't happen. But I genuinely feel that if Labour, they want to please the people, the economy is the priority. So I genuinely do feel that Labour are going to have to work with China, and I think that this will be for the best, and especially for me and my family, because the UK, along with the US, we're like one of the two remaining countries where China, they have not given visa-free exemptions for. So if my family wanted to visit China at the moment as a tourist, they would have to pay, I think a couple thousand RMB. It is quite expensive. However, if they were French, German, Spanish, Italian, Serbian, whatever, they have better relations with China, and so you can go visa free. So that could be one of the first short-term things that we might see. Maybe. I'm not too sure. That's just something that I am hoping for anyway. One cause for concern, though, is that the new British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, he has been openly critical of China, especially in regards to Hong Kong and Xinjiang, more so than Rishi Sunak was. So this could be something which could be a little bit of a concern. Maybe he's not too fond of China, which is a little bit strange because he's never even been to China. He's never been to Xinjiang. He's never been to Hong Kong, but he's very vocal about this. And I think most British people, even Labour supporters, will agree that he always tries to do the right thing. He tries to be very moral, and so he will always try to say things to please people. So if there's some hot topic in the news, he'll be like, oh yeah, China are bad for this, whereas he doesn't really think too deeply on it. He doesn't really understand China if he's never been there. So I really welcome him to come, and I hope now he's the Prime Minister, he will get that chance and he might be able to change his mind. And unlike the US, the UK have no laws banning Xinjiang products into the UK. So this could be one slight concern. Could Keir Starmer be swayed by the US? Could he change his mind and decide to ban Xinjiang products? Could he be more harsher on anything related to Xinjiang? I don't know. I hope not. But these comments that he made about Xinjiang were a year or so ago. He's not actually said anything this year in the run-up to the election. So maybe it might be okay. What he has said, though, is about Taiwan. And he has said now that the Labour Party are in control, that the UK government will not change their stance on Taiwan, meaning that they will not change their stance that Taiwan is a part of China. So they still believe, Keir Starmer believes that Taiwan is part of China, which means I think that he's going to keep the same things going on with Xinjiang. He's not going to say anything, at least I hope anyway. So in reality, I don't really see too much happening in the next few months. November could be the deciding matter on what the UK does. It might all depend on the US election. It's increasingly likely that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States of America. And he has been very vocal again about the US and China, and he wants to be very hard on China. He wants to do some very tough trade deals with China. So the UK, notoriously, we always follow the US, and I think Donald Trump, he might want his allies to do the same. So although the Labour Party winning could be promising with the relations with China and the UK, I wouldn't be excited too soon. Let's just wait and see. And there are a lot of countries who balance it. We've seen with Germany, they've done pretty well. They've got some good relations with China recently, I think. So I don't see why the UK should just do exactly what the USA all the time. Why not have a balance? Why not work with the US? Why not work with China? The US, they are not the be-all and end-all of the world anymore. They're not the dominating country of the world anymore. There are other countries out there, and I do think if the UK want to improve the economy, we need to change things, and I hope that is with China, and I hope that we can get some more good relations with them. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think about this new election? Do you think Labour will be good for China or not? I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.